Are you the kind of person who gets married? Do you think so? Is this the one? We're on our way there. I find that appealing. I find that appealing. You are special. You are the setting. I think I've evolved as a person. Listen, I feel like I've grown up, and the self-improvement I've done has made it possible for me to see that I'm the marrying kind. Within in terms of Chicago, she is a superb Chicagoan. I've always been inspired by her. She is one of the most beautiful people I have ever met. Wonderful heart. Dude, she's amazing. My therapist deconstructed the pattern I saw in what was called love addiction. I grew reliant on that dot feeling, which was similar to thinking, oh, I'm in love and this time on the honeymoon that people give it a name. You knocked off. Okay, let's be honest. It's an odd relationship. It's just as strange as Jennifer Hudson's clothes. All right, I don't care whether she dresses in Russian fashion or wants to be Mary Poppins. There is nothing like them. The angle of the camera, not the clothes. They are looking at the available songs. Welcome back to Star. Hush is the place where the drama never stops and the tea never cools. This one is very hot, so come on in. Common just learned the hard way that Jennifer Hudson is not the person to depict. The cause for the internet buzz is their relationship, which they recently made public and has already generated headlines, and not for the reasons he had wanted. According to the streets, Commons may have encountered some problems as a result of his wandering eyes. There are also claims that he committed a mistake with an unnamed lady. Whoa, Jennifer wasn't there either. It is said that she gave it to him and created while snapping on him in the backdrop. According to sources, she was clearly not going to sit around while everyone else found him entertaining. At the end of a performance, she suddenly ended things by dropping him like a hot mic after viciously dragging him for vulgarity. Online, her supporters are already asserting that Jennifer won't let anybody take advantage of her time or her emotions. Are you in a relationship? Therefore, the response is in the affirmative. And I have a partnership. She is educated and one of the most beautiful people I have ever met. She is committed to God. She exudes a sincere sense of groundedness. I suppose she's gifted, but since she had to have an ego, I realized that she somewhat exceeds my standard. For her first movie, she had to win an Oscar. Amy got a regular high from me. She had to have her own talk show. Oh, I see. Common is now well-liked for all the wrong reasons. And the tea is boiling. Over. Despite Jennifer Hudson's whole dedication to curing Common, supporters are whispering. They apparently had fun with City Boy throughout this season, as if he were single, demonstrating the sincerity of their affection. The person who was once considered the sophisticated poet of contemporary love is now known as a proven heartbreaker. Honestly, nobody should be that shocked. The claim that a crystal ball wasn't required is being ridiculed online. Be prepared for this. The love life of Common has always been a showcase for women. They shook their heads and walked away from public breakups and short-lived partnerships. As a result, it didn't exactly happen overnight when rumors started circulating about his leaving Jennifer. And for this reason, the pushback is more vociferous. We are talking about Jennifer Hudson here. She is not only talented, she's in that unusual EGOT. She is an amazing force, a queen, and, to be honest, if you have her on your side, the last person you should make a mistake. He is being ridiculed online by followers who call it next-level disrespect and say that treating her dirty is basically karma for a future career. The turn comes next. Haddish Tiffany. Tiffany had already started chatting before Jennifer and Common became public. Shethru warns and makes lighthearted remarks about Common's lack of commitment. Let's maintain it at 100, however. Tiffany's words weren't quite unselfish. She was still experiencing emotions, and it was painful to see him snuggling with Jennifer. No one can match this man's designs, she said, making fun of social media, laughing in interviews, and reminding those she knew. Now, the internet is staring back at Tiffany as if she were holding a crystal ball. After all, she dated him. She discovered that her heart was wounded, and she had been displaying warning signals for years who are willing to listen. Although Tiffany Haddish really believed she had her time with Common, the way things transpired turned what might have been a romantic comedy into a serious situation. Are you the kind of person who gets married? Do you think this may be the one? We're on our way there. I respect that about you. In this situation, it appeals to me. You are distinct, just as I have evolved since then. I feel like I've grown, and the work I've done on myself has made it possible for me to be married type. I am the kind of person who is capable, as you can see. I could do it, and I would know when I wanted to in the future. It's the right time. I also believe that everything in my surroundings is divine. For example, you may experience God's judgment in your heart and soul when He speaks into your abdomen. As a result, I would speak with the person when I felt that. Furthermore, if she is going through it, then why not? The flame started in 2019 when they were working on the movie The Kitchen. Furthermore, Tiffany was already expressing her feelings to the camera when it stopped rolling. And it is a classic Common, let's face it. He has a history of being drawn to women. He works alongside Queen Latifah, the only co-star about whom we haven't heard any rumors. Honestly, even she may not have made news. Tiffany fell fast from the start. Common was displaying up the charm, letting go of that informal banter that has made him famous, and it worked. Imagining that this was her real chance to discover love, she fell deeply in love. But usual only altered the situation when it seemed to be clicking. Taking Tiffany by surprise, he left the speaking platform and went straight back to his Angela Rye's departure. Tiffany was heartbroken. She thought she had a good idea, but Common obviously disagreed. Most people would have agreed, the L, and continued. Tiffany, however, did not. She made the decision to stay on the sidelines and wait for the inevitable in silence. Additionally, Common didn't have to wait long given her prior performance. He seldom has lasting connections. He and Angela faded out in weeks, as was to be expected. Common men twisted the block as soon as the door split open, and Tiffany didn't think twice. She had no pretension and was prepared. Give him a fast yes and wide arms to make him fight for it. Before long, they were under lockdown and in quarantine together. The Globe really received proof at that point. Tiffany joined Gabriel Yun and Dwayne Wade on Instagram Live. In the background, fans clocked Common. Boom. Relationship verified. Not to mention that Common's dating history at this point was essentially a roll call of famous people. We are talking about Serena and Taraji P. Erykah Badu, Williams Henson, and a few more names were mixed in. The streets already understood the pattern with Common, despite Tiffany's belief that she was the exception. This is when things start to get really revealing. None of Common's well-known ex-partners seem to be praising him when you look at his dating history. And Erykah Badu is the one who best demonstrates that. Before Erykah said she was done in late 2002, their relationship began about 2000 and continued for almost 2 years. Initially, Erykah maintained her elegance and didn't reveal much about the reasons for her breakup, but Common was eager to provide his perspective. He claimed that she was solely to blame for the separation, portraying himself as the distressed victim. He even said that when he was on tour, she broke up with him over the phone. He says he inquired, "Is there someone else?" After she replied, "I don't want to be in this relationship anymore," while sitting in a hotel room in astonishment. He says that moment broke him since she was his first genuine love. Common continued by expressing his heartbreak, recounting the anguish and how he seemed to be floating in a cloud, hardly able to eat. He even joked that Eric would remark, "See you next to him, moment of a lifetime." It seemed to be the destitute, deserted lover at first look. The story wasn't nearly as sunny as he made it seem, so Erykah eventually decided she wasn't going to let him rule and started giving hints. She hinted that adultery had been a contributing factor without naming names. She made it clear throughout the conversation that she values loyalty and friendship, above all else. Sheer also needs a partner to pursue someone who is completely trustworthy since she understands what certain males desire. The standard translation didn't quite live up to that. As a result, he was fabricating this story to make it seem as if she had just fallen in love with someone else. In reality, supporters may have been playing games behind the scenes, and they started to give him a serious sidelong look, realizing that he may be manipulating the situation to protect his own reputation. And here's the worst part. Common men eventually made an effort to restore his image after many breakups and bad press. He started talking about personal growth, therapy, and being ready to become a better husband. To show that he was changing his behavior, he even worked with a well-known relationship guru. The internet is uncertain about his history, however, given what these current rumors suggest. He's really overcome his previous inclinations. Your relationship is a well-known coach. It is accurate, yes. Obama Michelle. Without a doubt, she has helped me communicate with others via certain relationships. We had a conversation and she taught me a lot. She did, however, tell me one lovely thing while I was on this path. Because you are not perfect, you will not find someone who is. As a result, be aware that choosing that partner will need you to give up certain things. But as long as the essential values that are most important to you. You're done if you can tick anything off the list. She offered you some sage advice there. Once again, some superb Common's design was shown. Common executed his usual change of pace as soon as Tiffany Haddish started openly expressing a desire to take their engagement to the next level. Conversational participation, and true devotion. They seemed like a perfect pair for a second. Then the next minute, he was gone. Here, he makes it clear to the media that he has no plans to get married. "I'll do what's best for both the lady and myself, Radar. Yes, you are aware that right now, all I want is to be content and enjoy myself." World peace. Everyone who was paying attention could see the writing on the wall at that point. Tiffany, poor thing, was unaware that Common had already become emotionally distant. Despite this, she was publicly endorsing their affection as he progressively faded into the background. Eventually, as if by clockwork, he raised her and lowered her at the same time. Customary Common acts. But this is the part that really gets people talking on the internet. Just as he allegedly did with Erykah Badu. To protect his image, Common altered the course of events. He presented the split as friendly and mutual rather than admitting that he was done or that the spark had gone out. He said that they only were pulled to life in various ways and had busy schedules. Fans of Instructions didn't think it was true. The tendency was swiftly documented on social media, which said that Common never admits to losing love. He just walks away. It seems to be a peaceful exit. Tiffany and I were unable to invest as much time and energy into our relationship once we started traveling again. I don't think the love really waned. I just think we weren't encouraging the collaboration. Common could have thought he could avoid Tiffany's separation. Haddish seems to be the good guy. Tiffany, however, was not going to ignore it. She told her a succinct and straightforward account and altered the course of events. In any case, Tiffany didn't sugarcoat her breakdown after realizing Common had deserted her. In one interview, she made fun of him while smiling and characterizing him as Abby, jumping from flower to flower. Translation: he's always looking for the next thing. The underlying message was clear, but she hoped he was happy. She knew exactly what he was doing, and Tiffany hasn't really changed since then. She is the best person to inform Jennifer Hudson about Common's past, since she is the one who knows him the best. Look, Jennifer and Common weren't strangers. For years, they had been moving the same groups, attending the same business meetings, and traveling different paths inside the film industry. But the spark didn't become anything more until they shot together in Philadelphia. It started out with a light-hearted tone, laughs and short pauses. Scenes. But the whispers were becoming louder as the shooting came to a close. Jennifer made an effort to seem innocent by acting as if rumors were circulating among the public. She said things like, "We recently finished filming a film. We ate together and he played my spouse, that's all." Lunch in between takes. The streets were not duped, and neither were the photographers. Soon, the connection that had started in quiet spread to the real world. They were seen eating a casual Malibu supper, seeming too comfortable for friends. Common then flew to London for the Strang Loop premiere of Jennifer's musical A. That was the unofficial verification, according to supporters. Unless anything real is happening, no man is shipping a co-star across the ocean. Even then, they tried to move gracefully. To avoid generating headlines, they would go separately to occasions. However, they were constantly adjacent to one another when the cameras weren't there. After months of quietly flirting, it finally boiled over when Jennifer said something. She looked directly at him about their chat program. I asked him explicitly whether he was in a relationship. He then hit her with a suave grin in return and flipped the question. "Are you in a relationship?" The crowd went insane. The video became viral. All of a sudden, the public learned about the Hollywood gossip. Common men, Jennifer, and Hudson had a love relationship. I'm involved in a collaboration that is. She is educated and one of the most beautiful people I have ever met. She is committed to God. She exudes a sincere sense of groundedness. I suppose she's gifted. But since she had to have an ego, I somewhat compromised my bar. For her first movie, she had to win an Oscar. Amy got a regular high from me. She had to have her own talk show. Oh, I see. As a result, the fairy tale atmosphere started to fade. Rumor had it that Common Men and Jennifer Hudson's relationship wasn't as perfect as it seemed on Instagram. Whispers about the tension between the two that was found as soon as Tiffany Haddish reappeared and gave her account of what had happened. Tiffany was open about her suffering even 2 years after their split. She described it as the healthiest and most pleasurable relationship. I was in the safest place I've ever been. But she also made it clear that the split was not returned. She was only able to respond, "All right, you're going to be a year-old man without a partner then." When ordinary men attacked her and said, "I believe this. The relationship has reached its end. All fine." At first, the public gave Tiffany a sidelong look for continuing to discuss a long-term romance. especially because Common had already moved on to a new starring woman, even referred to as obsessive by some fans. But as the months went by, it started to seem like Tiffany was right all along. Common wasn't exactly the slick. Loyal, he presented himself as a love poet. According to recent sources, Jennifer Hudson may be the hardest lesson to learn. Manner. The romance is allegedly on unstable terrain. Insiders claim that Common has been hinting at a desire to put everything on hold, including long-term marriage dedication. But Jennifer is concerned. Why? Because his past is too complicated for her comfort. According to the T, Jennifer feels that he hasn't been totally committed. Furthermore, given their shared past, those doubts are hard to ignore. Sources also point to Jennifer's own previous relationships as a contributing factor. She is cautious because of her lengthy engagement to David Otunga, which ended in the midst of emotional turmoil and public drama. Chevrolet claims that she had no intention of getting married. No more. That relationship, which started in 2007 when a mutual friend introduced them, became poisonous to the point that she almost disappeared from the dating scene until Common stepped in and said, "I'm ready for something real." David and Jennifer Hudson's relationship got off to a quick start, but Jennifer is protecting her by taking her time. Harmony, she won't risk her heart or her future with another guy who may turn her back. They met in 2007, clicked immediately, and were engaged in less than a year by 2008. At the time, it seemed like a true fairy tale. Two people getting ready to start their lives and start a family. But life had other ideas. That same year, Jennifer experienced a terrible personal tragedy when she lost several family members in a shocking case that rocked her life. In the midst of her grief, she also found out she was pregnant. By 2009, she welcomed David Jr. and began the long, painful healing process and trying to start over. From the outside, everything seemed normal, but behind the scenes, fissurers were showing up. The wedding kept getting delayed by a year after year. In public, the couple said they were biding their time, especially with everything hanging over fans on the internet. However, Jennifer started to feel something deeper. Didn't quite fit the truth. One warning sign that people couldn't ignore: David's alleged insecurity as Jennifer's fame grew. She started to show off on the red carpet with a spectacular appearance and a smaller stature, while David reportedly liked the more subdued version of her. She even hinted at the stress. When asked if her fiancé was happy with her new look during an interview, she said, "Jennifer, he's adjusting," laughing. The ultimate star move. Since I'm a moving billboard by 2017, the fable had completely unraveled. After the engagement ended, the split was not at all tidy. Jennifer, who usually avoids messy situations, Hollywood drama unexpectedly found herself in a crucial split that had the public fixated on each update. Supporters realized if Jennifer was prepared to accept legally, it takes things to the next level. This meant that behind-the-scenes activities were more turbulent than anyone could have imagined. When David and Jennifer Hudson's relationship started to fall apart, she later claimed that he completely changed their minds about her, calling him an unhelpful spouse and saying that his actions made her feel insecure and exhausted. Based on information leaked from the complicated court case, Jennifer painted an image of a man who had become excessively domineering and incredibly envious. She said that his accusations about her private life no longer made sense at all, as if he convinced himself that every man he wanted her in Hollywood couldn't handle her success. Naturally, David's camp responded with a hearty applause. His lawyers spread a rumor that Jennifer's increasing fame was connected to her flirting in Hollywood, a claim Jennifer refuted, insisting that he was the one who had betrayed their relationship and that his anxieties were becoming unmanageable. Overflowed into co-parenting issues. According to insiders, Jennifer believed he started using their sin in his position of authority, even trying to watch her while she was working late in the studio. There were also claims that he would send her unsettling messages while she was at work, which made her anxious. Being cautious, she even asked security to make sure her space remained peaceful. The drama didn't end there, though, as she claimed she was accused of playing mind games at home and constantly questioning his intentions. David's legal team denied all of this, saying that she was making things up to win people over and fabricating the story to gain public disapproval of him. They even stated that the thing that worried her was that he had left something behind that seemed frightening in plain sight. Strategy, a reminder of her most agonizing trauma from the past. Considering the trauma she'd already experienced in her family's past. It was like stepping over the line at that moment. She was just a harmless audition prop. Whichever side you support, one thing was clear. By the time the public's reaction to separation was irreversible and this messy breakup ended caught their attention, it was clear that the fairy tale had long since disappeared. Jennifer consistently brought up that particular incident, which provided her with all the information she needed. She described it as a silent moment, an intimidating tactic, and claimed that David didn't need to say anything because the way he moved and the energy he exuded was meant to upset her. David and his legal team, of course, denied all of the accusations, claiming that he had never harassed or abused Jennifer or their son, and accused her of trying to win over the public's compassion. In court documents, they argued that she was only trying to gain the upper hand in their custody dispute while he was fighting for their child's residential care. His attorney even went so far as to suggest that David had been trying to reach a cooperative parenting strategy from the beginning. Furthermore, the entire chapter focuses on why Jennifer is moving so cautiously in her current romantic life. She's already gone through public drama, grief, and betrayed confidence, and she won't make the same mistake again. As a result, when the streets started to buzz with rumors that Jennifer had made a mistake and then tried to make proposals as if nothing had happened, fans on the internet were shouting, "Girl, keep your guard up." They have seen his mannerisms, the charismatic speaker who seems solid at first, but maybe not as Teddy as he appears. Jennifer Hudson is a strong, arrogant, and intelligent woman who can protect her harmony. In 2024, the internet is keeping both eyes and perhaps a third in this situation to see what happens next. Will she leave permanently? Or will Comet be able to show that he is genuinely in it in the long run? Time alone will tell. Now, my Hushers and Stars, I need to hear your opinions. I'll see you in the next one. Hushers and Stars, keep shining and keep drinking. 9 and keep drinking. Should Jennifer give Comet another chance so she can move on from him? Mirror permanently. Share your thoughts in the comments that follow. Smash that like, click the icon, and sign up for Star Hush so you don't miss Hollywood's next big thing.